Hey everyone, so we've had our first look at the Peak games, which is the newest part of the Wolfgame project. They're still in beta testing, but we've had our first look at the games and how the system works. Now this whole Peak games is very different from the normal Wolfgame. The Wolfgame, which we've been playing for about 7 months, it launched last Christmas, is about resource gathering, breeding sheep, breeding NFTs, upgrading structures. It's a long-term game which we've been playing 24/7 since last Christmas. This new part, the Peak games, very different. It's fast, it's high impact, and we're there to win wool. These are played over 5 minutes, 7 minutes, maybe 2 minutes if you're good enough or unlucky enough. So what it is I have the wool token, which is the native currency of the ecosystem. I can buy it on Uniswap. I show up at the peak, I put in my wool to a pot. My opponent, who I'm matched with automatically, has also put their wool into a pot. We play this game directly against each other. Whoever wins leaves with the wool. Completely different type of game. It's short term, high impact. I want to win that wool. Very competitive and very compelling. It's been a lot of fun so far. So let's look at the first 3 games we've been shown. So the first of these games is called Water Wool, and it's based on a board game called Hex, which is a completely skill game. This isn't just like showing up at a roulette table, spinning the wheel and hoping your luck comes up. This is something where the longer you practice and the longer you study and learn the game, the better you'll be and the more people you'll beat. All you're trying to do is get a line of your pieces from one side of the board to the other. Your opponent is trying to do the same thing. One of you goes horizontally, one of you goes vertically. The first person to make their line connecting all the way from one side of the board to the other wins, and they're going to win all of that wool. Now, I don't really like board games at all, but I enjoyed this. The matchmaking system was simple, it was nice that there was some wool on the line, that there's something I might win, and it was exciting to play. The graphics looked good, it looked clean. I thought it worked really well. It's something I'd definitely want to play again, which I wasn't expecting from this. I thought, how's this going to work? It worked, at least for me. I thought this was great. So the next game's called Tug of Wool, and really this one seemed overly simplistic to me. I didn't understand it at first, but it turns out it's based on a really famous game theory dilemma. All we have to do is we each have 100 sheep, both you and your opponent, and each round you choose how many sheep you want to send out. Now, whoever sends out the most sheep each round is going to win that round. The goal is to draw 3 rounds ahead of your opponent, and then you win all the wool. I didn't have any idea what this game was about, and then I realized how complex this game actually is. It's much more complicated than I initially thought, and I think I'm going to have to play this one quite a few times to develop any sort of strategy. So the third game is called Wits, and I think with the polish and sort of animations on this game, it drew most people's sort of attention. I think it was the most popular out of the 3 games with the community. It's based on a game called Love Letters, and what it is basically, it's been adapted obviously for Wolfgame. You have 8 cards, and your opponent has exactly the same 8 cards. Now each of these 8 cards has a value on it, and each card also has a special ability. What you're trying to do is work out which card your opponent's going to throw down, which card then you have to throw down to counter that ability and hopefully win. Now, it took me about 20-30 minutes of looking at these cards to sort of work out what the special abilities and powers are, and you start to realize the strategy that can be employed. I think definitely one of the most useful things was whilst these games were running, because this is in beta, this is beta testing, the project has been giving us one of these games, and then as a community we've been playing it, seeing how the matchmaking system works, seeing how the game actually works, and sort of feeding back bugs which they've been going away and fixing. But during that time, all around in the Discord, people are talking about strategy. How do you play this game? People have been learning it together, and the depth and strategy on each of these games is fascinating. So I think definitely join the Discord if you're going to play them and start learning about strategy there. People can give you links to these games. Some people in the community have actually developed sort of sandboxed version of these games on Steam where everyone's practicing, because they do need practice. They're not just luck games, these are skill games played for prizes. Okay, so how to get involved and actually play these games? Well, the first thing you need is the wool token, which you can buy on Uniswap. We've been playing these games for 500 wool each. Each of us puts in 500 wool, which is about $3.70, I think, at the moment. So these aren't high stakes things. This is the lowest tier of stakes. At the moment, because we're beta testing, we're only playing with the lowest stakes. Eventually, there will be the medium stakes, which is quite a lot more wool, and then the high stakes. There's already people who want to play these high stakes games. All of these options are going to be there. At the moment, it's only the low stakes games available because we're testing until it's stable. The other thing you'll need apart from Wool is something called peak credits. Peak credits, you earn them by playing the full Wolf game, but if you're not doing that, you don't have to have anything to do with the full game. If you don't want to, it's a completely separate thing, the peak game, and you can just go and buy these peak credits from third-party sites. There's going to be a marketplace for them in the actual game eventually, but at the moment there's two sites which have been built by trusted community members called Plumsworld and Feral Flips. I haven't used Plumsworld, but I have bought peak credits on Feral Flips. So to play one of the current peak games, we're going to need 10 of these peak credits. Going over to Feral Flips, we can see that 10 peak credits cost 20 wool. So how much does 20 wool cost? Let's go back to Uniswap and we can see that 20 wool is going to cost us 13 cents. So this is not sort of huge stake stuff at the moment. And it's nice, I think, that it's separate. You don't have to be in Wolfgame. I'm in Wolfgame. I love it. I've been playing it day and night for 7 months. But a lot of people won't want to do that. It's a completely different type of game. It's quick dopamine, it's playing for instant rewards. So different type of thing, maybe different players. I think I'll be playing both. The other thing is, when do these games take place? Well, so far, we've just been having time slots. They've been telling us, the team, tomorrow at this time we're going to be playing the games, and we all just wait. And there's a button to opt in. We've been opting in, and then 10 minutes later, the games start. We start getting this matchmaking process. So at the moment, it's really running in a testing phase. I think eventually what we're going to see is time slots which work for different regions of the world and sort of consecutive games. That's all being tested intelligently. So there's always going to be matchmaking, and there's going to be sort of, I think, compressed times of play, so there's always people to play. We'll see how that works out. We don't know just yet. We're waiting on it. I'm really relieved at how good it is, to be honest. I think all of the community is as well. Everyone's just asking, when's the next game, when's the next game, when's the next game. So the second I know anything else, I'll let you know here, and if not, I'll see you in the Discord. Hope so. See you.